What is up, everybody? Cover 2 Monday is back at you, headed into the final week of the regular season. Number 1 seed is on the line. The 49ers took care of business last night. I know Coach had a hell of a call of the game. Had to watch 2 calls from him, all right? Call number 1, first play of the game. Definitely recommend go back and watch that one. And then the final play of the game, highly recommend going back and watching that one. That being said, Coach, we have a ton to discuss. Not only last night's game, we got to look forward to Seattle and really the playoffs in general. But first of all, my guy, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing phenomenal. 12-4. Destiny in our own hands. The scrappiest bunch of this regime, dog. Like, these guys, we're 300. We are 300. We got to figure out who the hell is Leonidas. But right now, we are showing and proving. Couldn't be prouder of the coaching, of the preparation. You saw tons of that in today's game. In yesterday's game. We can go on and on, Jesse, but just to answer your question, I'm doing phenomenal. I'm great. I've been on cloud 9 all day today. Everybody's been asking what's going on with Coach. Even at work, I'm answering meetings. I'm being punchy on teams. Everybody's wondering what's going on with me. I'm just in a really good mood. I'm excited.
Good. Well, there's a lot of reasons to be excited. You know, this is it's interesting because we've talked a lot about how this is both of our favorite teams in the Kyle Shanahan regime, and it really started with kind of the Mac Jones magic, and then it's carried through, and Brock Purdy has kind of recaptured the imagination of 49er fans as this thing has gone along. Last night, to me, I don't know about you, but I listed like my 3 favorite games from Brock Purdy as a 49er. One was obviously the first game where he came in for Jimmy Garoppolo against the Miami Dolphins. That came out of nowhere. People didn't expect that. So that had to be number 1. Number 2 was his very first start because they beat the brakes off of Tampa Bay and Tom Brady specifically. And then number 3 for me was last night. Some of those plays he made, coming back from a pick 6 to start the game, losing Trent Williams on the first play of the game, didn't have George Kittle all game. That to me was my 3rd favorite game of his. Probably the most, and I feel like I've said this a few weeks in a row now, probably the most impressive game from him this season for me. And I said it before the game. I said, if the 49ers beat the Bears, this game would be the most impressive game of the season. And then it can be topped if they beat Seattle next week, which is now upon us. They have that opportunity. Overall, I know you called the game. Sometimes when you're in the middle of calling the game, you do miss some things or you misremember some things. I don't know if you've had a chance to go back and watch it or what have you. But just overall, what were your thoughts from watching that game last night?
2 things. The offense as a whole, number 1. We were aggressive. We played offense with a defensive mindset. We were attacking, okay? We were literally taking up space, going after every blade of grass. Everybody was involved. There wasn't any pet pony, it's going to be a Christian McCaffrey day. We're going to run it all through Christian McCaffrey. Or, we're going to find a mismatch with Ricky Pearsall, and it's going to be a Ricky Pearsall day. No, this was all hands on deck. They were gritty. They were nasty. They were resilient. They responded, okay? They, dare I say, they were contemporaneous. They adjusted on the fly, all right? They did exactly what needed to be done to win. Listen, when you in a dogfight, man, you don't care how you look. You don't care. You don't care. I'm sorry. You don't care what punch you throw or how you look swinging. Dude, you're using every tool at your disposal to get this dude out of here. All right? And that is, for far too long, that has been my issue with the Niners. Is that it's like watching a boxer who's got a beautiful left hook, and all he does is try to set up the left hook. And it's like, my man, you got a jab. You're athletic. You can box. You can fight. You got really good. You don't go to the body at all. You barely use your spacing. Nothing. All you do is set up everything toward your sweet spot, your sweet shot, which is your left hook. The Niners are boxing now. That's what I loved about the offense. They're boxing. They are actually using ring generalship. They're using all of their tools at their disposal, and it's beautiful to see. Not only on the field, not only with personnel, not only with the actual performance, but the coaching and preparation as well. The attitude around the way Brock Purdy is playing. All right, getting it done on his feet. That's a new wrinkle. All right, we always knew that Brock could get it done on his feet, but to be intentional, to actually use him in the red zone, for that to be an actual package now, that's something that you haven't seen before. I'm in on that, right? You got to call a spade a spade. Offensively, that's one thing. Love what they did on offense. Secondly, this defense.
As excited as you are about the offense, let's talk about the defense.
This defense. The pass rush, where is it? Okay? All right, we get it. It's so gone. All right? I'm still on the high from last night's game, bro. I'm still on one. All right? Barely slept. The defense. This is what I love about the defense. The defense is almost like Rudy Rudiger. Remember Rudy? Have you seen the movie?
Of course, yeah. Terrible movie.
Everybody knows that when Rudy made the team at Notre Dame, what was the last thing that his coach said to him once he finally made the team? We had all of the upbringing stories. Rudy finally fought through everything. But what was the number one contingency to stay on the team? If you let up one hair, all of that passion, all of that effort, if you do not bring that literally every day, you are gone. That is the standard. And that is the standard of this defense. We cannot afford slow starts. We cannot afford lack of effort. We're all effort. There's an Easter egg, though, I will tell you, in this defense that needs to be brought up. 3 of them. 1, your Yetur Gross-Matos is a big part of this defensive line. He needs to stay healthy. Your Yetur Gross-Matos helped us in a huge way with being able to rush the passer somewhat, but also being a willing body in the run game. We're forgetting the fact that even though the Bears have a very good offense, all right, and especially with them turning on late, the creme de la creme of what they do is they run the ball. They have a 2-headed beast in DeAndre Swift and Monaghan. What they do is they take over games early and they wait on Caleb to come on late to take over games. That didn't necessarily happen early because DeAndre Swift took all day to finally get warmed up. It was his backup who actually found pay dirt with the Niners. So that's 1, your Yetur Gross-Matos. 2, Upton Stout. Even though the Bears were starting early and having success, our early 3 and outs were when Upton Stout was on the field, all right? Upton Stout went out later on in the game with a concussion, and hopefully he will be back. But I was okay with what the defense was doing with an offense that is used to getting yards in chunks and what we had with our pass catchers. Upton Stout went out, Chase Lucas came on. We only really had 1 starter. Ronaldo Green was not there. We really had 1 starter in the secondary as far as corners were concerned. So Upton Stout being out of the game and the defense still holding firm was a huge deal. And lastly, Jair Brown. Jair Brown stepping up now, giving up the touchdown early on, okay? Getting caught on quarters, getting cross-faced. I get all that. Out in space, Jair Brown is going to be a problem. But Jair Brown with timely pass breakups, being a huge contributor in the run game. I'm going to tell you this right now. This is something that we worried about early on, which was we cannot stop the run. If these dudes keep effort, Jesse, if these cats come into the game with self-awareness, knowing who they are, right? You can't come in with this whole all gas, no brakes bullshit. That shit's dead. Come in with self-realization of understanding that we are a day late and a dollar short, all right? We ain't got it all. When they play with urgency and they let the coaching permeate through their performance, this defense can get timely stops. I'm telling you, defensively, we are not completely out of the game. We're not all lost with what we did. This is an offense that scores, all right? We got to understand this is the number 2 rushing offense that we saw coming up into this game, all right? If you look at the rushing, what they scored 110 rushing yards coming up. DeAndre Swift was 9 attempts for 54 yards and 2 TDs. Monagai was only 8 attempts for 38 yards, all right? They clip at a much higher percentage rate and efficiency on other teams, all right? This is with an already beleaguered defense injured, all right, who took on more injuries during that game and still responded. I say this all the time. When they mess up, I dog them out. But when they perform, you got to love on them. You got to love on them. Bravo. Bra-fucking-o. Last night's performance was awesome. It was worth the price of admission.
I mean, just from a football fan perspective, like remove your 49er fandom for a second. If you're just watching that game as an NFL fan, it's as good as it gets. I had somebody in the chat last night bring up a really good point. It reminded them a lot of 2019 when the 49ers played the Saints. Remember that game? Just how fun the game itself was. That was exactly what last night was. It was such a fun game to watch. And we talk about games that you remember for a long time. That Saints game is something for a regular season game that you'll remember for a long time. Last night's game is one of those core 49ers regular season memories that you will always keep. You'll just always keep it. And we've seen a lot of those throughout the history of being a 49er fan, a lot of them in the postseason, but for a regular season game, that's about as fun as it can get. And they are so impressive right now on offense. So impressive on offense. 40 plus points, 2 weeks in a row. They just can't be stopped. Brock Purdy literally threw a pick 6 to start the game, and it didn't matter. They still put up 42 points and outscored the Bears. Like, it was just so freaking fun to watch. Brock Purdy had like 3 plays last night that you're like, oh my gosh. And even Collinsworth was, he brought it up. He's like, listen, if this was Patrick Mahomes, he loves Patrick Mahomes, of course.
Right.
If this was Patrick Mahomes,
Go ahead.
He's got to bring him up. If this was Patrick Mahomes, we'd be oohing and on all. Absolutely. And you got to ooh and ah all over those plays. The one rolled out left, take out was step forward, his check was so sick. He had multiple plays like that. The offense, we've been talking about for a few years after really great thing, and eventually that was become fruition. Say along, that's exactly what I feel. We're right, but the offense has to carry things from now on. That defense, your point, Coach, is equally as awful as the offense.
Hey, Jess. I think you need to bounce and come back. It's okay. I thought it was just me, so I was just trying to rock with you, but it's a little choppy.
Okay. All right. I'll set up. You guys go. Yeah.
Go ahead. All right. So look, this is what we need to talk about. We also need to talk about the offensive line. We're gonna get there. The number one thing, Kyle Shanahan was cooking.
This is a certified hood classic.
It was a hood classic. I understand. This is Jesse's platform, so I can't snap the way I really want to, like it's on the coach's huddle. But we got the coach's huddle for a little bit. Son, you can't tell me that, dog, the offensive line wasn't snapping. Austin Pleasance? He was going off. Trent Williams goes down in the first pick 6 of the game, my G. And I don't know about y'all, but I was saying it in my head. I hope y'all was saying it. On the low, I was like, son, This game is a rizzity rap. There is no way that we are going to perform the way we did on offense, bro. 496 total yards on offense, dog, against this defense. Dog, dominant. Fucking dominant. Jesse knows I can't go in on this platform like this, so this is my platform right now. Son, dominant performance by the offensive line. Son, Dominic Puni is getting healthier. We understood early on that Dominic Puni had like a strained PCL or something. And early on, bruh, he was looking like dog water, son. Let's just keep it a fact. All right? Keep it a fact, Jack. All right? And at the time, I remember early on when Dominic Puni was a rookie and him being like an immediate plug-and-play player, the automatic benefactor of that was Colton McKivitz, bro. I used to think Colton McKivitz was so trash. And Dominic Puni came on and automatically made me start seeing the worth in Colton McKivitz, bro. And their tandem early on was awesome. You haven't really seen that all year. I believe that Dominic Puni is actually getting healthier. By the way, don't look now. Spencer Burford is turning into a dog, son. He's low-key going to be on the free agent market next year, and he's going to fetch like $15 million, son. Don't look now, son. He's going to fetch at least that type of money moving in. That's the biggest thing. Also, if you look at the offensive line too, we ran the ball really well with Christian. Christian had damn near 100 yards at half. At half. Over. They were killing running the ball on offense, son. All right, I'm gonna let you go ahead. I had your platform for a little bit. I'm gonna give it back, bro. But
no. It's all good. Yeah. Listen, I mean, there's not enough good things that we can say about the offense. It's just the defense is equally as bad, coach, and it has to be brought up because they're about to get into the playoffs. And the question really comes down to this: is this sustainable to winning football games come playoff time? When the weather gets a little bit iffy, you're playing better defenses. I don't know how sustainable 40 plus points a game is. Now, maybe 30 is enough to get it done. I think, like, I look at a team like the Eagles who have a really good defense. You put up 30 against that defense, that's like scoring 50 because the Eagles just aren't going to put up that many points. But then on the flip side, it's like, well, can we count on this defense to stop anybody? Like, could you see a scenario where the 49ers lose a playoff game, but it's like, well, you know, the offense was perfect. Christian went off and Brock went off and Kittle went off and Shanahan coached the best game of his life. And it wasn't enough. You know, it was reminiscent of the Bills Chiefs, where the Chiefs got the ball with 13 seconds left, kicked a field goal, got it in overtime and won the game. Like, there's just nothing more your offense could do, but the defense really did nothing. That's my major concern going into the playoffs and going into this final week against Seattle, because as much as I don't trust Sam Darnold, you give him all the time in the world to just sit back there, that kind of changes things a little bit. And then you're in a shootout against a team that does have a pretty decent defense. You can't be expected to score every possession. Like, that's just unrealistic. And that's where the 49ers are at. They couldn't even hold down Phillip Rivers for big chunks of that game. 44-year-old Phillip Rivers, they couldn't hold down. It's a little concerning. It's more than a little concerning. It's very concerning at this point.
I got something for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Can I interest you in a little bit of gameism? I'm going to drop some game on you. All right?
Okay.
So, what sucks about sports from a coaching perspective is once you start coaching, the game gets a little monotonous because you start understanding what should happen versus what's going to happen, right? So you get in a position where you start understanding the X's and O's, the scheme, the personnel, the recruiting, how teams are built, and you get a much bigger menu or perspective on like who's a really good program, who's going to win, what team is going to win, what teams are going to lose, right? That's usually the way things go. But every now and then, sometimes it's in the moment, which means that the field has leveled out, it is plateaued with talent, and it's really not about who can brute force their way to the championship. It's who has the best utilization of their tool, right? So really, the way the NFL would like you to think, any other sport, college, basketball, whatever, they would like you to think that we all start the game, it's Hunger Games, and we all start the game with one weapon. That's not the truth. Some people start the game with a bazooka, some start the game with a rocket launcher, some start the game with a slingshot, some start the game with a butter knife, okay? Everybody ain't equal, but every now and then, you get yourself in a position where everybody gets a sword, and that's it. And all of the other stuff and all of the trappings that are at your disposal, you don't have that shit no more. And you got to really use the metal of your technique. Can you wield this tool to do what you want it to do? This is what the NFL is right now. The predicting is over. Nobody's good enough or consistent enough for you to forecast a team. The Patrick Mahomeses are gone, right? The Lamar Jacksons are gone. Right. Well, what's your boy out in Buffalo? The boy that is 10 feet
Josh
tall.
Allen.
Throw a mile. Josh Allen. He's gone. Okay. Now it's the most known unknowns. Who knows how to wield their team the best? Everybody got a flaw. Nobody's a juggernaut. Nobody could just show up and win. You got to come with everything. Those are the teams that are left. So there's no team that could just come and show up with their offense and just win a game. There's no team that could just show up with their special teams or their defense and just win a game. There's going to be teams that are going to stress you at every facet, at every weakness, and it's up to you to be able to traverse through that as you play. All right? So we're talking about one-game seasons. That's where we're at right now in the NFL. All right? And for where the Niners are right now, if you forecast them traditionally, you're going to find the holes. Right? If you say the Niners versus the Eagles, the Niners versus the Rams, the Niners, blah, 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 you're going to find the holes all day because we got them, right? But if you're talking about real ball, if you're talking about matchup football, if you're talking about hat-on-the-hat football, where, hey, bruh, I understand all that shit you got to do, but you got to prepare, and you got to get the guys on the field to understand how to be savvy enough to play their way. All right? Not get told what to do, but to play their way. What Brock Purdy did yesterday, he played his way. Majority of what he did was on the ground. All right? He was awesome on the air, but he took the ball into his own hands and made himself useful by way of Coach Shanahan's coaching in the red zone. All right? Who else stepped up in this game? Kyle Juszczyk stepped up in this game. Juwan Jennings stepped up in this game. We saw appearances from Kendrick Bourne, Jake Tunges. All right? This is a team that's scary in the scenario that I just depicted to you because we have weapons at every level. And those guys can be used at every level. And we got the games to boot through the season. We got the Rams game that we had to bite our nails to win. We got the off-road games that we've had. We had our teeth kicked in by Houston. This is your favorite football player's season, right? It's all about one-offs. Who knows how to play when the ball is rolled out? Fuck all the predictions. It's about who knows how to play. And that's why I'm excited about where we stand right now. Because you can look at Seattle coming up and say, man, that defense, how they've been rolling, who else they've played. And I'm a slave to it too. You look at another team play, you're like, God, look what they did with blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a crazy matchup for us. But who the Seattle Seahawks are when they face us, it's who they prove in their mettle to be that day, not who they were the week prior. So you got to play your way. And that's the same thing for us. I understand that I'm galvanized by this win, but we got to be able to take this and erase it and move on to next week. But that's what the season is right now. It's not traditional. It's about who's ready to win that day. Who's ready to win that day? That's who's going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Well, I mean, one thing that you have to like is, to your point, one-game seasons, but it's all about who's hot entering the playoffs. And if the 49ers can somehow beat Seattle, they're as hot or hotter than anybody, NFC-wise. Now, AFC, you've got the Jaguars, you got the Texans that are on like 8- and 7-game win streaks. Them aside, we don't have to worry about any AFC team until the Super Bowl. But you look at the NFC, the 49ers are it. They're the it team. You know, they just knocked off Seattle and the Bears that were the it team. So the 49ers are on a roll. If they win that game, they got the number 1 seed, and all you need is 2 games, and they got to come through you to get there. That's a big difference versus having to go on the road. Big difference. So yes, the imagination is captured. Like what seemed like an impossibility or an improbability just a few short weeks ago is here. Like the opportunity is right there in front of them. And one thing we can say about the 49ers is they do have players on their team that are very experienced in these situations. You know, Seattle's a team that we look at, and there's a lot of good players over there. Don't get me wrong. We go player for player. They're the better quote unquote team on paper. But to your point, games have got to be played. And when they do, who can you rely on? Well, I trust Brock Purdy a hell of a lot more than I do Sam Darnold. That's the most important position in football. I love Mike McDonald, but he's not Kyle Shanahan experience. Kyle Shanahan's been here, done that. George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk, Trent Williams, if he plays, we'll see. CMC, like these are experienced players. Diamador Lenore, these guys have been there. They've done that. They know exactly what it takes to win these type of games. And that's something that is gained. And not only that, when you look at just the course of this season, we talk about a team in the 49ers that have 35% roster turnover. They've all learned how to win close games and games that they're not expected to necessarily win. Games where they were outmatched from a talent perspective big time in some cases because of injuries and what have you. This team has found a way to win in all phases at different points in the season. Early on, it was the defense that was doing their thing. Then they had injuries. We've seen the special teams win games. Now we're seeing the offense carry the torch. This team has shown that they can win in a multitude of different ways. I just think when I look at this team as it's currently constructed and the way they've been having to win, I just don't know that that's sustainable. And it is a worry for me. But to your point, they're not playing the league of 2019. They're not playing the ghost of 49ers past where those rosters are clearly better. They're playing the league as it is right now. And the league as it is right now is full of teams that can be got at any moment. None of them impress me in the NFC to a point where I say the 49ers can't win that game. They absolutely can. I'm just looking at it through the lens of we cover the 49ers. This is the team we watch the most. I know we both watch a ton of NFL football all around, and we know the league, but just through the lens of the 49ers, it seems like right now they have one way to win, and that's through the offense. How long can they keep it up? And is it a fair expectation? I don't know. We're going to see. I mean, we're going to see again next week and the week after that. And as long as this season goes, how long can they do it? Because I don't see that superhero coming through and changing what's going on with the defense. I don't see the defense getting better as we enter playoff caliber football.
I mean, again, I Jesse, you are right. All right. So I want to start with that. I agree. You're not wrong for your assessment, but the trend of you got to worry about the immediate trends, not the overall trends. And the overall trends of us being football fans and being in football for decades, it is that the shoe is going to drop. You're going to run into somebody who is going to, really exasperate these issues that you've been having all year. You can't get away with this all year. And I get that. But in the illustrious words of my aunt, who gonna stop me, boo? Like, who is that team, Jesse? Who is out there that is really going to stick that point home? Who's gonna do that? Right? I understand. I just feel like the infrastructure of your argument is good, but there's nobody there to hold that up. There's no team out there that I think can stress the Niners defense to the point where their offense is so good and their defense is so good that we can't find a way in that day to find a way to win. There's nobody that impresses me like that in this year.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
Right? So for me, I have to look at it this way, like, hey man, Love the one that wants you, not the one you want to be with. If the Niners are, if this is our version of 12-4, I'm owning it. I'm owning it. And yes, we got holes. Yes, our defense has a massive pass rush problem, right? We cannot get after the quarterback. At times during the game, Caleb Williams was back there baking cakes. Those are the facts, all right? But we're going to face another team, and you know what else? I hate to be like, hokey, but we're going to face a team, and they're going to have injuries. We're going to face a team, and their defense ain't going to be together, or they're going to have offensive issues. It's just been what's going on in the league this year, all right? I can't ignore it. So you got to look at some point, you got to look at it like, man, there ain't no teams like the Eagles 2 years ago that's out here. There ain't no 2023 us out here, teams that'll just rip your face off as soon as the ball is rolled out. There ain't no teams like that. Even the teams that have the bodies, they don't have the experience. They don't have the coaching. Even the teams that have legacy, that have all of the DNA of being deep field, they're injured or they got coaching issues. Sometimes you got to just look at the market, right? And the going price on a 12-4 team is exactly who we are. Because you can look at a lot of other 12. Look at the Bears. Case in point, this would have been one of the most meaningful wins of the Bears season, beating us. They would have took this win to the mat, and they would have put us on the front of their car and drove us around dead, proud that they beat the Niners, and we would have legitimized their 12-4 record. Because guess what? What has everybody been saying about the Bears, even though they're 11-4? What have they been saying? They're not real, right? The Bears haven't really played anybody. They win late. They haven't really dominated the game. Caleb Williams is all over the place. He finally got his act together. We don't know what's going on with that. Like, come on. So there's questions about every team, and that's the going market of the NFL in 2025. So I understand now that we're not unique in that. We're just right along with the trend. Everybody got issues. There's no perfect team.
You're right. I did say that. And a lot of people are upset. Oh, you're being so negative. Guys, I'm just calling what is the facts. Right now, the 49ers rank 13 in points per game given up, 22.4, which sounds great on the surface. The last 3 games, they're giving up 29.7 points per game. 29.7. That's a massive number. And it's not like they were playing juggernauts on offense and Phillip Rivers, who's 44, or the Titans and what have you. Like the Bears are a team. You watch them all season long. They struggle at times to put up points, especially in the first half. They're a team that slowly comes along, and then in the second half, they kind of explode a little bit, but they don't put up points like that. Not what they did last night. That's not who they've been all season long. They kind of slow play this. They start with the running game, and they build slowly. 29.7 points a game. It's just really, really hard to do. Now, again, I will say exactly what Coach said, and I know I'm saying it in a different manner. There is no team in the NFC that is so complete that they cannot win. I'm just saying I can see a scenario where we get into the playoffs, you get into a game with a good defense and cold weather, and all of a sudden you're not able to put up 30-plus points, but your defense also can't stop the other team, and you end up losing because you just can't get the stop when you need it most. Right now, this defense is a liability, and if you don't think it's a liability, then more power to you, man. The offense is special. The offense is phenomenal. I think they can win shootouts, but to me, it seems like this is the brand of football they're going to have to carry, and I don't know how long it's sustainable. I guess we'll find out.
Let me ask you this. I get that. What you're saying is true. I see what you're saying. What I want to ask you is, at what point is the team playing with house money? Have we reached your expectations?
Oh, they've exceeded. I mean,
okay.
Listen, if they lost in the first round, I would still be like, hey, man, this was a successful season. Like it doesn't matter. Like the imagination has been captured. I love this team. I absolutely love this version of the team. It's super
I love
fun.
this version of the team.
It's
bro. They're my favorite team.
As
They're my
fun
favorite
as
team.
great as the defense was in 2019 and all of that. This brand of football is way more fun to watch.
It's so much
way
fun.
more fun to watch.
Yes. So much fun. They've been resilient. There's so many guys that you can call on. It's not just, the core. It's everybody. It's Jake Tunjits. It's Austin Pleasance. You know what I mean? Like, come on. It's Keon White. It's Cleveland Farrell coming in out of nowhere. Like, and we've had seasons where you've had your Sansom Ebukam and your Charles Menahue come in and, guys that we traded for, obviously CMC. But what I like about this brand of football is that if they stay focused and just keep the self-awareness the priority, like don't start thinking. There's a tendency to exhale when you start looking good amongst the people that didn't believe in you in the first place, right? And you're like, oh, I'm kind of welcomed. Like, I'm kind of mainstream now. And you kind of lose your edge. I just don't. Right now, we got an edge. We have done something that was very hard to do. One of the reasons why 2019 was such a hard blow is because we had an edge. We had this us against the world mentality where it permeated so viscerally that people did not want to play us in 2000. They didn't want to play us. And I feel like in today's tapestry of what the NFL is, we're kind of on the precipice of that, where we could beat the Seattle Seahawks by hook or crook, no matter what, and beat them, and nobody will want to play us in the playoffs. Nobody. Like,
I don't think anybody wants to play us anyways, whether we win or lose that game. Who wants to play the 49ers? Who would actively want to play the 49ers right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nobody should. Nobody. I'll give you some context. Mm-hmm. So I just did for those of you that don't know, I do a show it's called Roundtable Sports. I do a show where I'm the 49ers representative for the NFC West, and they have divisional shows. So for every single division, they have a content creator that represents every team. They have one person that hosts, and then they have the people that represent the teams. And every week we recap games and we look forward to games and all of that. Well, I also host the NFC North show and the AFC South show. I am yet to do the AFC South show, so I don't know about what their predictions are. But the NFC North show, two of them, the Vikings representative and the Bears representative picked the 49ers to represent the NFC. So they're looking at the 49ers as very, very real, as a team that they think can go to the Super Bowl. So that made me feel a little bit better. I'm like, all right, well, that's good. You're looking at it from the outside in. You have no dog in the fight. The Bears representative literally does, like his team's in the playoffs, but he was being very objective. So for two of the four to pick, now the other two picked the Rams. So, it was a mixed bag, but that made me feel a lot better. It was like, okay, well, maybe they're onto something here. And I think it's a possibility. I know that the defense is a liability. It is. I get it. I'm happy about this team. I'm very positive. I'm excited. But I can also call a spade and say this defense is a problem right now. It is a problem. And they're either going to have to rectify that or they're going to have to win in shootouts. And can they do it? Yes. Is that a style that I welcome? Certainly. But it's usually not sustainable. Exhibit A, watch the Bengals for the last few years. They have no problem scoring points. None whatsoever. But they have a hell of a problem stopping teams, and they can't even make the playoffs because of it. So it's hard to sustain that.
The DNA is still there, though. It's the DNA. The DNA of the defense is still on that side of the ball. I could see if they were just cheeks. Like y'all don't even know what it's like to be a good defense. That's not this group, though. You feel me? I'm just talking about like the actual group of men that play defense for the 49ers. I'm not talking about the collective group that is called the defense of the 49ers that we look at on TV. I'm talking about the men involved. These guys have played football at a very high level on defense. They know what it's like.
Who has on this defense?
Diamador Lenore has played at a very high level on this defense. Malik Mustafa, Jair Brown has played at a very high level.
Okay.
Jair Brown wasn't on the Super Bowl team in 2023. I'll wait.
Okay. So, but Malik Mustafa hasn't been on a high level defense. He played for a Buns defense last year. That defense was awful last year.
Bro, don't step on my shine. Don't step on my shine.
Hey, I'm just saying. The take is fine. I just want to know who.
I'm just telling you.
Okay.
Tatum Bethune has been. Listen, I'm just telling you about the little homie, big homie project that I know about the game. All right.
Let's go.
Let me just tell you how it works. Okay. Tatum Bethune's big homie is Fred. Okay. All right. These guys have Nick Bosa in the building. That's their big homie, okay? You got guys that are on the team. Diamador Lenore has played. He's a big homie on that defense. I'm telling you how the cultural dynamics work on the team. I could see if this was a group of guys that don't know what it's like to play at a high level on defense, that do not have an expectation that actually they have seen, right? Not coach speak, not, chance and what's in the media guide at the beginning of camp where everybody reads what the edict is. No, I'm talking about championship DNA. These guys stopping and shutting motherfuckers down. The expectation of what it takes to play defense. There are tons of guys on this defense that know what it's like to do that here. Okay? And they are a sum of all parts. Those guys are not all around on the defense. But when I'm telling you about moments, when I'm telling you about being conscientious on elements of the game, like it is no surprise, or it's not a mistake that the Niners on defense prioritized on selling out on certain things and giving up on certain things. That's coaching. That's an advantage that a bad defense does not have. They just have to be bad. And they have to be at the mercy of whatever that offense wants to do with them. Bad defenses don't have a Robert Saleh that is putting them in the right places, that is preparing them, that is telling them the weaknesses of a good offense. Even though we are matched up below most of the offenses that we're going to see from here on out because we're going to be facing good teams and into the playoffs. Most of bad defenses do not have somebody like Robert Saleh or Chris Kasarik or Coach Hightower that can sit down with them and dissect an entire defense and literally put together a defensive game plan. That is worth its price in gold, especially when you're dealing with a unit as injured as what we have right now. All right? Getting little pieces back like your Arturo Gross-Matos, keeping an Upton Stout on the field. That stuff matters. Getting Ronaldo Green back, that stuff matters. I understand that it's a skeleton crew. I get it. But from a standpoint of what these guys' expectations are, what they know they are facing, the self-awareness of the people that have been injured throughout the year, this is a defense that they are going to give up stuff. They're going to bend all day. But as long as they don't break, as long as I got a defense that I can count on in the last play of the game, if I got a defense that understands self-awareness where it's like, hey, man, we have got to get these guys off the field, and they find a way to do it, I could care less if we get scored 500 points as long as we got 501. That's the type of defense we got right now. They ain't going to stop shit, but if you need them, I'd much rather bet on what we got and what we got on the sidelines calling the right shit. Okay, one of the reasons why we won the game last night is because of coaching. The Bears should have called a timeout, which they should have, and they were the ones who were scrambling all over the place, and they forced a play that they should not have. That's where we're at in today's NFL. That's where we're at, where just a coaching blunder on a normal routine play that we have all seen done can be the balance in a game. I'll tell you one thing that happened in the last play of the game. The Niners knew exactly what they were supposed to be doing. I'm counting on that. I'm counting on that. I'm betting on him. There's a reason why Robert Saleh is supposed to be out of here by next year. He's doing a phenomenal job with these dudes. Anybody
He's doing
else?
as good as he can do. It's
Come on,
tough.
man.
It's tough. It really is tough because there's so many injuries and what have you. I get it. The bones are there because Saleh's the coach. You have a couple guys. But listen, as good as Jair Brown is the biggest boom or bust player on this defense by far. Like, he's either making the most incredible play. He goes from one play, not even an interception, one play where he's covering man coverage, DJ Moore, who's a very good receiver, and locking him down, to giving up a huge touchdown to Luther Burden a couple plays later.
Bag.
Like, that's who he is. He's either boom or bust. And I get it. There's a couple guys with that pedigree, but when you look across the board, they really don't have those guys. Like, Bethune was here watching, Winters was here watching, but they weren't on the field during these big games making big time plays. You have two guys that have done that. You've got Lenore, who's done it in spades, and you've got Jair Brown. He had a pick in a Super Bowl, what have you. But outside of that, you don't have those guys that have been here. Now, Huff did it on a completely different defense. No, and in fact, no, he didn't. No. Scratch that. Scratch that. He was a healthy scratch all playoffs last year for the Eagles. So that's not true at all. I think he was a healthy scratch in the Super Bowl, if I remember correctly. So not even Huff. Like, you don't have those guys that have been there, done that. You have Saleh and you have two players, but I don't know if that's enough to carry the load when it matters most. Again, this team can win shootouts. That we know. All I'm doing is questioning how sustainable it is. And we're about to find all the way out.
We're about to find all of that shit out by next week. And I'm not mad at you. I would be right with you, brother. I really would. But when Bryce Huff went down, we felt it. Bryce Huff in a vacuum, I get it. Bryce Huff in a vacuum, whatever. Swiss cheese, man. It is what it is. Bryce Huff in our situation, we need him. We need him. Without Bryce Huff, that is a loss. He did not play, and it was noticeable. Yetur Gross-Matos played, and it was noticeable. For what it's worth. You know what's happening right now with our defense? It's the same thing that we did with the rookies the year prior. Remember when we were saying Dominic Puni, Malik Mustafa, who were some other rookies the year before?
Ronaldo
Jacob
Green,
Cowing, Isaac Garindo. Remember how we were so jacked for their sophomore season? And we had to slow ourselves down and ask what? Dude, are we kind of getting hype on these dudes because they had so many opportunities to play in front of us? And we were just so fixated on every good thing that they did that we were kind of giving them a mulligan on all of the things that were deficiencies. And really, they're not fines as rookies, but they're just rookies who were able to get spots that routinely wouldn't be there due to the injuries and the status of the team, right? I understand that's how you feel about guys now that are presumed starters on the defense, right? Like your Bryce Huffs, like your Tatum Bethunes. And I want to warn you, don't take that line of thinking, because that would have been fine if these guys would have been expected to play. These guys are not expected to play. They got dropped in out of nowhere to play. Okay? Like a Tatum Bethune did not expect to be Fred Warner's backup is not expecting to play games. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just facts. All right? If you're behind the first round rookie of the year, you're not expecting to get a lot of snaps. You're expected to get folded in. All right? So what these guys are giving us versus the teams that we're playing versus the field, it ain't but 32 teams. It ain't that hard to take a look and take a look at everybody. There's nobody there. Right? Even the Seattle Seahawks, which is a very formidable opponent, right? They're better than the Bears. It's going to be a really tough game coming up. I still don't trust Sam Darnold.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I still don't trust Sam Darnold. Come on. Like, I still don't trust their championship medal. This team is young. They don't have a lot of experience, and they themselves are nicked up and bruised. And let's see them play on the big stage, right? And that plays a lot more into our favor as the season progresses because who's got more time on task in the big show than us? Who shows up more under the lights than us? So, listen, man.
Eagles, the only team I can think of.
Man, fuck Jalen Hurts. Look, I'm telling you. All I'm saying is that I'm game. There's not a team in the league that I'm willing to say stuff about that I'm not willing to say about my own team. I'm sorry. There's not a team in the league that I cannot look at them and be like, y'all ain't got y'all shit together either. Like, there's stuff on y'all's team where y'all shit ain't together. So how y'all doing? You can look at the Texans.
There's no like perfect team for sure.
The Texans was supposed to be world beaters. That offensive line is ass.
It's bad. Like, it's really bad.
Come on, it's bad. So really, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So however you want to take it, right? It's the devil you choose. Right? You go with the devil you know versus the devil you don't. I'd rather go with the devil I know. I know how we're built, and we're still winning games. So it ain't that pressing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that there's a team to be fearful of. I really don't. And I think that makes it exciting in general, right?
Yeah,
because
it was the Rams.
Absolutely can win all these games. I mean, listen, there's teams that I would prefer not to play, but I don't look at any team and say, oh, well, we can't beat that team. Like, if there was a path to somehow avoid the Rams and the Eagles, give me that path. But if we match up against them, and we most likely will at some point, okay, so be it. Then it is what it is. Like, they can win that game. They can win that game. The Rams are a division game. We know exactly what they bring to the table. There's nothing to be scared of over there, and divisional games are always a crapshoot as is. And the Eagles are a good team. They have talk about a team that has pedigree. Like, we can say the same thing about their offense not being good, but we know that they have the pedigree. We know that we've seen them step up offensively when it matters most. But I'm also not scared of the Eagles. Like, Jalen Hurts doesn't scare me.
He don't scare me, bro.
He doesn't scare me. So, yeah, I mean, they can beat all of these teams. They absolutely can beat all these teams. It's just,
losing to the
I'm
Rams.
excited, man.
The second game, losing against the Rams, even while losing to them, run it back during the game. I called the game. I'm like, dude, their defense is mid, bro. I am not impressed.
No, it's not good. Yeah.
I don't know what they were talking. All right, yes, go after the quarterback. Fine. You got that. Outside of everything else, whatever. It ain't that deep to me. So it's week 17. I feel like personally, I have asked every question that I can ask. I'm questioned out. I've questioned the running game. I've questioned the defensive running game. I've questioned the pass rush. I've questioned the linebackers, the secondary. I've questioned the coaching. The intertwinings of the coaching. Kyle versus Salah. Like, I've done it all year. And these motherfuckers keep winning, bro. You know what I'm saying? So what would I be like? Who would I be in week 18 to take my victory lap? That shit's weak. You know what I'm saying? At this stage of the game, they are who they are. They're an imperfect vessel that gets the job done. That's the team we are. And you know what it is once you get a winner, you don't care what he look like. The features just look good. He's a winner. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with this team. You know, I've asked every question. I've questioned the running game. I'm still sitting here trying to figure out how the hell CMC pulled 140 yards out of his ass while rushing against this deep. Like, you know what I mean? Like, stuff you just can't explain. You can't explain that. I didn't see that coming. You know? So, Ricky Persall, we're sitting here talking about how he can't stay healthy. He goes 8 for 5 for 85 yards. Come on. George Kittle goes down. All of a sudden, we think that the run game is going to be out its ass. They run for 200 yards. Brock Purdy throws 5 touchdowns the week before. Not going to do it. He goes and throws for 3 touchdowns and 2 on the ground. Come on, bro. Come on. You just got to read the tea leaves. The game it's wide open. It's wide open like the strip on Vegas, baby. It's wide open. It's wide open, dog. We're jiggling, baby. Go ahead, baby. It is.
You're like, you know what you remind me of right now? You remind me of like the what's that movie, Shallow Hal, where like he gets
Yeah.
like well, I forget how he gets it, but all of a sudden like these ugly people are like the most attractive people to him because he's looking at them for their personality. Like that's where we're at with the 49ers, because
Yeah.
it's like that you've kind of you've forced the hand to your point where it's like, ugh, I mean, sure, there's flaws, but like they're my flaws.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love them anyways.
It's exactly. It's like they're our.
But they treat me good though.
Jesse, you.
They
hit
love
the
me
nail.
for me.
Jesse, you hit the nail on the head. If you gotta go, and I said this earlier in the show, I said you better go with the one that want you and not the one you want. Okay, this is our team. They're 12-4. They defense is ass. We ain't got no pass rush, and we love them. You know what I'm saying? It's like running into your man who you think is a ladies' man, and you see his baby mama for the first time, and you're like, yo, that's you? That's you? And what do? He look up, yup, that's me, dog. She cook, clean. I ain't got to worry about her. My wallet, I put my wallet down and come up clean. I love her. That's me. The Niners are ugly Bettys this year. Let's just call it what it is. That's the elephant in the room. We're ugly ducklings. Fugly, if you want to call it. Nasty, disgusting, crusty, dusty. Everything you want to call them. But they're 12-4. So you got to love them. You got to love on them. And if you keep picking them apart in week 17, you just don't want to be happy. You just don't want to be happy. You want to be right. You don't want to be in love. That's your problem. You want to be right. You don't want to be in love.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm really not trying to pick them apart at all.
I know.
Like,
I know you're
I love
not.
this
I know
team.
you're
I
not.
know.
Yeah.
I really, and I've said it all year. This is my favorite. This is my favorite iteration of a Shanahan team. It just is. Now I'm looking at it through the goggles of, okay, we're here now. As crazy as this season has been, as fast as it's gone, I can't believe we're here in week 18, let alone week 18, Seattle Seahawks at home, division game, #1 seed on the line. This is right here in front of us. Like, this is real. And then we've got the playoffs right behind it. Like, this is an exciting time. But as 49er fans, we want a fucking Super Bowl, man. We want a Super Bowl.
And
so
I get
can
it.
this team win a Super Bowl? That's the lens I'm looking at it through. Not, hey, there's two different lenses. If the question is, did this team exceed expectations? Are you loving this team? Unequivocally, yes. Yes. But now we're looking at it through a different lens. Can this team win a Super Bowl? Because this is the stage we're at in the season. And so, yes, I also have to look at it and say, okay, well, these are the flaws. Doesn't mean we can't overcome them. Doesn't mean that other teams aren't flawed. But these are legitimate questions that are going to have to be answered throughout the course of this. And this defense is a legitimate question. It just is.
I got one. I got one for you.
Okay.
Could it be that the real key to winning a Super Bowl is the 49ers minding their goddamn business? Let's just mind our business. How about
The real
that?
season was the friends
Let's
we
just-
made along the way.
Come on, man. Let's just play who's in front of us and worry about that. That's part of Kyle Shanahan's problem. Let's just be worried about who's in front of us, right? And the league, for once, let's loosen the grip, the fake grip that we think we have on the league, and let go and be singularly focused on us, okay? Let's do that. Right now, as we're talking about the Niners having enough, the Rams are down 14-0 to the Falcons. Let's just focus on us. You know what I'm saying? Let's stay in our lane and see what the league has cleared out for us to be able to do what we need to do. It's not missed on me that the Super Bowl is here in Santa Clara. That's not missed on me. I'm telling you that the dreams of what this could be are too big. They're so fragile that a whisper of them could take them away. I don't even want to talk about the possibilities of what we could do if we just win. That's how fragile it is to me. So I'm 10 toes down to the point where I almost don't even want to upset the football gods by asking salient points like what is going to happen with our defense. I feel like that is just a clear point. Our defense sucks. What else is going to happen with them? They're going to try to do their best. That's what they're gonna do. Like, what other astute points does anybody have to talk? The guy that gets up here talking about our defense in like a factual way, the content creator, like, first of all, your Gross Matos is his pressure rate is 35 degrees, and with the latitude. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. We ass. We are ass, bro. I'm trying to make sure that we can play today. Let's just make something happen today. Like, it's time out for all of the statisticians. Put your protractor away. That's how I feel about this team. As long as they keep winning, I'm good.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, let's do a little sleeper. I can't believe we're an hour into this show. We haven't talked nothing at this point. Golly. All right. We got a game on Saturday. We've discussed it ad nauseum as far as what's on the line. But also get a 100% deposit match when you play Sleeper using promo code LSS. And you can get a free $20 play when using promo code LSS without making a deposit. And lastly, New Year's Day, I'm giving away a Nick Bosa jersey. And not just any jersey, a rivalry jersey that will be worn by the 49ers this week. Rivalry jersey week. We finally get to see those things in the flesh. So a Nick Bosa rivalry jersey to anybody that signs up using my promo code, deposits $10, at least $10, gets their deposit match. You'll be entered to win. It's a size large jersey. So, you big fellas either lose some weight or get motivated to do so. All right, fit into this thing. And you small fellas, maybe hit the gym. But it's a large. So either way, here we go. Here's some picks right here. We got 49ers, Seahawks, Saturday. Brock Purdy, 242.5 passing yards, more or less. What do you think, Coach?
Less.
Okay. Mm-hmm. CMC, we're going to take the more here, 31.5 receiving yards. I feel like that one's easy. Okay. Sam Darnold, 239.5 passing yards, more or less.
Less.
Oh, okay. George Kittle receiving yards, 62.5, more or less.
Is he gonna play?
He's gonna play. He said he basically said he was almost a lock to play in week 18. So I'm gonna assume he's gonna play. If he doesn't play, here's the great thing about Sleeper. If he doesn't play, Coach, then this pick will just be erased from our ticket. So don't feel obligated.
It does that?
Yeah.
That's dope.
It does that for you. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'd say more than.
Okay, let's go more. And then we'll pick one more Seahawk just to even things out. JSN, does he get in the end zone or no?
Yes.
All right. I love this one. $10 to win $138.50. We got CMC, 31.5 receiving yards more. George Kittle, 62.5 receiving yards more. Brock Purdy, 242.5 passing yards less. Sam Darnold, 239.5 passing yards less. JSN, anytime TD. We say yes. We're going to submit that right now. You can tail us or you can fade us, but either way, use promo code LSS. Link is pinned to the top of the description. Okay, another question mark that came up last night was the injury to Trent Williams. This one's interesting, Coach, because for the last 10 years, he's missed at least one game every single year. This was the first year, and we talked about this last week, essentially. Like,
yes, we did.
By the way, Trent Williams hasn't missed any time. That's pretty crazy. CMC hasn't missed any time.
It's pretty
And
nuts.
Trent Williams technically hasn't missed a full game because he did play the first snap, but now he's got a hamstring injury. Without him, they still were able to cook last night. How worried are you about the Trent Williams injury, though, as we approach the playoffs?
I'm concerned. It's a big deal. Trent Williams isn't nothing, right? He's not just a paperweight. Like, he's, a walking Hall of Famer. And just to be a little bit more, dynamic with what I have to say, it's not the Hall of Fame talk. Trent Williams is still playing at a high level. Let me just say that. He started the season a little slow, but as the season has progressed, Trent Williams has seen Myles Garrett. Trent Williams has seen that Jags defense. Trent Williams went up against a very guy, Danielle Hunter, and the Texans. Trent Williams has gone up against a lot of good pass rushers, and we have not seen what you expected to see earlier on in the year from how he started the campaign. He's played his way into shape, and he's been phenomenal. That said, a hamstring injury is something that you can't necessarily force your way back. You got to see exactly where it's at. It goes in grades, which we already know. But it's moving chairs. It's like right when you want to say something about the absence of Trent Williams, you get the elevation of Austin Pleasance, and you want to say, all right, well, Austin Pleasance did well against the Bears, and then you have to say to yourself, well, God, man, what is Austin Pleasance going to do? But Austin Pleasance did that without George Kittle. And if George Kittle comes back and then plays with Austin Pleasance, is it a wash from a no Trent Williams, right? Do we find a better way do we still find a way to run on that side of the ball, right? Also, Riddle, this may sound crazy, but Austin Pleasance may be playing at a more productive rate than Trent Williams right now because he's a fresher body. So you don't know how that plays.
Ease up. All right, ease up. Come on, come on. Ease up a little bit. All right, I love the George Kittle angle because you're right about that, man. Adding George Kittle, I think that was the most impressive thing last night was Trent Williams and George Kittle both being out, and the 49ers still seems he had his best game of the year, arguably, especially on the ground. 49ers ran the hell out of the ball. Brock Purdy helps with that because now his legs are there. But come on, I got to stop you at Austin Pleasance is better than Trent Williams at this point.
I didn't say that he's better. Okay.
All right.
What I'm saying is that but what I'm saying is that the production that you're getting out of Austin Pleasance, because he's fresh, he's a big body, he's athletic, okay? Austin Pleasance playing in the run game. The run game is about effort. The biggest thing with offensive linemen is, can you pass block? That's what they get paid for. You ain't an offensive lineman if you can't run block. All right. So that's supposed to be plug and play. All right. This is this new NFL when they started getting offensive linemen who don't run block. I don't know what the hell this is, but it used to be, even to call yourself an offensive lineman, you coming out to shoot. All right. With Trent Williams with Austin Pleasance being on the field, the biggest worry that you have in Austin Pleasance is that he's a liability in the pass game, right? With pass protection. Austin Pleasance was not necessarily getting his ass whipped out there. He wasn't. He's a fast body, he's big, he's strong. But what I will tell you is that Austin Pleasance is a very strong run blocker. He's bigger than Trent Williams. He's strong as or more stronger than Trent Williams. Okay, I'm sorry, but he's younger. That's the way physics works. I understand Trent has all of the awards and he deserves them all, but you get you a young bull versus an old bull, all right? The young bull gonna have a little bit more pop. That's facts, all right? Austin Pleasance being in when Trent Williams is being out in the run game, I don't necessarily see that as everything going down. Listen, while the run game was struggling, Trent Williams was there. He was right there playing with the 3.2 yards average a game. When we didn't have a rushing touchdown for the first 6 weeks of the season, guess who was at left tackle? Trent Williams. So, look, man, again, next man up. If we win without Trent, we win without Trent. We watched this season get carried on the back of Mac Jones. So who are we now to start talking about names? We were winning without George Kittle earlier on. Who are we to talk about names? Our leading receiver was Kendrick Bourne. So we got to get out of the names business. The core is dead. Nick Bosa ain't here. Fred Warner ain't playing. Let these boys play. Let them play. If Austin Pleasance is on the field, I'm rocking with Austin Pleasance. If Trent Williams ain't here, I'm not shaking in my boots about Trent Williams not playing just because he makes $1 bajillion. Nigga, we was 6-11 with your ass before. We couldn't even run the ball when you was on the field. Now I'm supposed to be worried that you're not here? I'm supposed to be worried that Brock Purdy's not here? The best version of the team is what we got. They better play their way. They pros.
I think
that's how I feel.
I think the Saturday game, like especially with any injury, like this late in the season, every day matters. And I think the Saturday game, it's going to be tough for Trent to come back, is what I'm saying. And if he does, I honestly would rather he sit. I get that the number 1 seed is on the line, but the playoffs are way more important. And what I don't want is for him to do what Devontae Adams did, which was push through it and then get injured when you need him most. I'd rather him just sit and be ready to go.
Let me ask you this, and I'm gonna ask this question, and I hope you understand where my mind frame is by the way I ask this question.
All right.
If you needed Trent Williams for one game and one game only, would you use him for this next week, or would you use him in the Super Bowl if you knew you were going to the Super Bowl?
Oh, Super Bowl, easy.
No, I'm using him next week.
Why?
If I get him for one game, I'm using him for the number 1 seed, and we'll move on. What is Trent Williams going to do that he hasn't already done in one game? I'd rather use him to move on. Jesse, it is all about what we're using in that game. We toss him to the side and move on.
You know who you're talking like right now? You know who you're talking like right now?
Who?
Any fantasy football owner. It's a week-to-week league.
I'm just telling you.
And no, it's true. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying like that. The way you're speaking is the way that you should look at fantasy football, which is like, hey, 1 week at a time. If you stream a defense every week, you stream a defense. You stream a kicker, you stream a second running back, then that's what you do. It's just I just got to put up the guys to win this week. I'll worry about next week. But I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that's what it reminds me of.
I'm just saying that I watched this team play like that to get to 12-4, and now I'm listening. We have not traditionally gone to 12. We haven't just. Do you know how many boring 12-4, 13-win seasons we've had, bro? Let's just keep it a buck. How many games when we're good, when we're like, man, we're just waiting to the playoffs till these boys actually play? They're like they're mailing it in.
We did that.
Dude, they're too good.
What was it? 2 years ago.
Come on, man.
Literally every week, I was on the phone with you after a game. We talk for 2 hours. I go on a walk or whatever, and I'm like, man, can the playoffs just get here already?
Come on.
Who cares about it? Well, I don't even care about this week 5 win or loss. Like,
come on, man.
Can we get to the playoffs already? This year has been like, bro, I can't wait for next week.
I
cannot wait to watch this next game.
And it is exactly where it's supposed to be. That if this is the type of ball that gets them to wake up and be all hands on deck for everybody to do their job, for everybody to care, for nobody to mail it in, and there's people that got to fall off along the way, so be it. At least we know we died on our shield. At least that. But I can't go to the Super Bowl losing halfway. I'm tired of that. I don't want to go to the Super Bowl and be all pretty and have all of the weapons and shit, and then Kyle blows a lead and we have all of these opportunities that we don't miss, and then we play against a team that understands the moment, and they're playing like we're playing right now, where it's like, fuck that, I'm taking whatever it comes. Right? If you're the Eagles, hey, you don't want to challenge it, we moving on. It is what it is. You don't want to make an adjustment, we going to win. We're about winning. We don't care about how it looks. If that is what we got to do to stay in this mode right now, I don't care who falls off. We might win a Super Bowl. Because we're going to face a team, I'm just saying, we're going to face a team that's too busy looking good. And right now, we don't care how we look. Right? You got to dance like nobody's watching, baby. You got to put all the moves out there. Can't care about who sees your running man. Get your Cabbage Patch going, dog. Have a good time.
We got 24 super chats, Coach.
Let's read them, babe. Let's read them. Let's read them.
Joshua says, even with our mid-secondary, don't think Seattle can beat us in a shootout. Hey, you talked about being a boxer early on, right? And using all the things that are at your disposal. And knowing you have a left hook and that's all you're trying to land. Low key, the 49ers right now, man, they have a left hook. The left hook is the offense. They're going to use everything to try to set up that left hook, right? But they're going to do it in a way that traps opponents. Ultimately, that's the game we want to be in. This iteration of the 49ers wants to be in a shootout. They welcome the shootout game because that's where they shine. That's where the best unit of this team, the offense, can go and win a game. So I agree. I mean, let us get in a shootout with Seattle. I think that's exactly what the 49ers want to see.
If we weren't a 60-minute...
Seattle doesn't want to be in that type of game. I don't think so.
Hell no. If we weren't a 60-minute ball club, we don't win last night. Like, even now, the calling card of most teams that are good, they're all scrappy. They all play to the bitter end. No team just shows up and wins. They all play hard.
Manhattan John says, who are your NFC Championship game and Super Bowl opponents this year for the Niners? Describe how you want to beat each and be petty AF, please. Okay, so he's assuming the 49ers go to the Super Bowl. Who do they play in the NFC Championship? Who do they play in the Super Bowl? NFC Championship, they play the...
Say it.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes, the Eagles. We want to play the Eagles. I want to be petty.
Philadelphia Eagles.
I want
and in the Super Bowl, they play the
picks.
Texans.
Yes, exactly.
Actually, you know what? No. He says be petty. I want to play the Eagles and I want to play the Ravens because I want to get back for the Super Bowl way back when.
Okay. That's super petty.
And I want to get back for the NFC Championship game against the Eagles. That's what I want.
And taking it away from Lamar. Lamar, that would be his first time going to a Super Bowl too. That'd be ill. I like that. Yeah, Ravens.
And my son's a Ravens fan, so it'd be kind of fun to have that one in the household. All right. Sammy and Pickles says, everyone needs to bring out the Ouija board and summon Sam's old friends, the ghosts. Seattle has a 12th man. We have 13 ghosts. I love it. It's beautiful. Flocka says, Jesse, who do you think we play in the divisional round if we get the number 1 seed? One of the NFC West teams. It'll be Seattle or the Rams, in my opinion. I don't think Green Bay has a snowball's chance in hell in winning in round 1 with their injuries, but we'll see. Leo Chris says 2 stops to go from 7-0 to 14-7, then a stop before the half to go up 28-21. Last 2 drives for the Bears, they scored 3 points. Timely stops at key moments for the 49ers defense.
That's a beautiful. Yeah, they had stops, bro. They got stops. You know, this is a defense that placed the Colts, man, where that run game was supposed to tear us up, right? Like, they're going to be – this is one thing I've noticed about our defense. They're going to be extremely well coached. They're going to be in the right place. They're going to be where they're supposed to be. I know you want to say something.
No. It's this next super chat that's got me grinning ear to ear.
All right, go ahead.
Because you were talking about tools earlier and using them to the best of your ability. And Cam wants you to know that he has good utilization of his Sorry. Cryptic says, do you think the bye is a good thing? Yes, we get healthy, but will the bye cool down the offense? Look at what happened to the Lions last year. I'll take whatever we can get. Honestly, I don't think the 49ers just had a bye a few weeks ago. When you say they get healthy, who's coming back? Fred Warner's not coming back because you have a bye. Bosa's not coming back. This team doesn't have anybody Ayuk's not coming back or joining the team, period. So as of right now, there's nobody that would join the team if you had a bye versus not having a bye. So I say let's keep this thing. But I just want to beat Seattle, which means they get the number 1 seed. So give me the bye, I guess.
Atlanta is dogging the Rams, Jesse.
Please beat Seattle. What are they? Nice. What's the score?
It's 21-all. 21-0, sorry.
21-0. All right, I love this.
Yeah.
This is good. You know, this is a double win. You know why? Because the Rams have Atlanta's draft pick. So if the Rams beat Atlanta, they get a better draft pick because of it. So if Atlanta wins, that's a double win. I love that. Okay. KFW says, can we do it without Trent if he can't go? We just discussed that. These super chats are a while ago, like an hour ago in some cases. So
Jesus.
apologize, guys. Joseph Ernberg says, can't wait for Belt to ass and to get beat by 10 plus in the playoffs. All right. I
I'm
love
here
what
for
he's doing.
anything.
Yeah. I love what he's doing because he's putting this reverse jinx on, and it's great. All right. Bill Kennedy says, what's up with Chat Sports Money Machine? I don't know. What's up with Chat Sports?
You got a money machine, bro? You ain't put me on?
No, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Chat Sports. Joseph Ernberg says, Coach rage baiting for engagement. Be for real.
Not at all.
Yeah, I don't know what
Not
that's
at all.
about. Cam's dad says, Coach, Bethune changed Salah's last play call.
He did?
Yeah, I think it was talked about in the post game.
I got to see that.
I wonder what
see
the
that.
original play call was. Yeah,
I really do.
Corey says, do you guys see Lenore's comments, thoughts?
Yes, I saw that. His
What
Chase
did he
Lucas
say?
comments.
I didn't see it. Which one?
He basically said, he basically spoke like me. He just said, look, you got to nut up. Like, that tired shit ain't for now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to finish this last drive. Chase Lucas, like, was tired, and I guess, like, he had given up a play before. And Diamond Lenore basically looked at him in his eye and was like, dawg, put your feelings in your pocket. Like, worry about that shit later. Tell me you tired later. And I loved it. They responded. So did Chase.
Daniel says Niners and Seahawks, the rematch of 2019 to determine the number 1 seed. I know, man. And I've got a hat bet on the line again. So we'll see how it
Pick
goes.
6 by Fred in the flat.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Joseph Ernberg says Tungus is my favorite player. He's the future. All right. I like it. Sean for the win says, can we just take a step back and reflect on how the conversation preseason and pre-trade deadline was? They were punting this year, and and here we are flirting with home field advantage and home games in the Super Bowl.
That's true.
Pretty crazy.
That's
Pretty
true.
crazy. My guy Zach says, Coach spitting fire right now. Defense is trash. Ain't got no pass rush, but we love him.
It is what it is. What you can't get another defense.
Joseph Ernberg says Niners will never win another Super Bowl and F Brock Purdy. Jeez, man. So serious. Dazzles says I didn't want a big swing at the trade deadline, but a Bradley Chubb, Kayvon Thibodeau would really help right about now. For sure. They would definitely help. But I don't know that they would save the defense either necessarily, right? Innovative Energy says, is Jesse the hater ready to restore what credibility he may have left to give Brock his respect? Salvage your channel tonight, buddy. It's the only way. I'm not struggling. I don't know
salvage
if you know,
it, Jesse.
I don't know if you know, but the views have been pretty good. Listen, I'm just gonna call it how I see it. Actually, here I'm gonna show you. You know what? For the sake of being petty, Grant asked a question.
What do you ask?
He on Twitter, he said, show us what you said about Brock Purdy before the 49ers drafted him. And he's going around, he's giving people credit on Twitter for basically calling their shot on Brock Purdy, right? And I know that I've said it before. And maybe
You have that. You have that proof.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me see something real quick.
Yo, Dre Green said, fire Kyle, we're not fooled, Brock.
Wait, what?
Some people just want to see the world burn, bro.
Was that Erberg again or no?
Nah, it was Dre Green, H1P.
Oh, I got you. All right, here. Just real quick.
Throw it up, Jess.
Let me present it. Share screen.
Yo, my man said, fuck it, let's make shit real interesting. Give me the Maple Missile and let's ride.
Hey, Maple Missile is
I know you rock with him, dog. I know that's your
I'm
dog.
telling you, he's going to be the reason that they move on from Mac Jones. I'm letting you know right now. They're going to be fine with him. But here were some tweets before the draft. So a year before the draft, basically. Malik Willis and Brock Purdy are my guys. I'm rooting for the most. Brock Purdy's a kid that I liked last year in the second and third round. He stayed in college. Really, this is me saying his name so people don't forget it when he explodes on the draft scene. I liked him early. Brock Purdy's being slept on. Sleeper for me is Brock Purdy. Listen, guys, I don't hate Brock Purdy. How fucking weird would it be to have called my shot before the draft and then hate the kid? Like, that's not what's happening. I'm just calling it as I see it. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Like, we can talk about, credibility and all your whole brand is built around hating Brock. I don't have a reason to hate him. If anything, him doing good goes back to my priors well before he was drafted, because I'm one of the few that actually knew who he was well before you guys did. So I don't know. I'm just saying it would be weird. But he's playing phenomenal. Like, there's no way around it. But anyways, all right. Too much sauce. Great performance by him, but Brock is playing up the cool white guy package a little too much. He's talking about with the dancing after the touchdowns. It's natural for Mac, but not for him. Needs to be himself.
Well, he can have it. He can have it.
Listen, the dancing thing maybe a little too much, but Brock has always played with, like, are we acting as if Brock hasn't had swag? After, how many times have we seen the helmet pull or the veins? Like, he's done this. The dance is
what he
right,
does.
all right. It's a lot, right? You've done the Dougie, but we get it. But he's always played with that enthusiasm. Like, this is not new.
He's having a good
opinion.
time.
Like, we've seen it. He's having a good time. Keith says, I think we need somebody else to beat the Rams. I like our chances against the rest of the NFC. That being said, there's something that has to be special about this team all year, and their ability to fight adversity. It is very, very special. Very special.
That's what's making me wake up. It's like, how many more times can I see them fight? I went back and I watched my live show from yesterday. I do not get that caught up unless I believe. Like, I hate to admit it, man. They got me
You're wearing
believe.
49ers gear. You don't wear 49ers gear like that.
I don't wear 49ers gear, bro. I don't wear other people's logos, bro. Yo, they got me. Like, I haven't been that galvanized in someone else's success since I myself was playing or I was on the sidelines. Full stop. I have never cared that much. Yesterday, because I felt like they deserved it. Jesse, they deserve to win now. Don't you feel like they deserve to win? Like, if they won this year, it would be all, they deserve it, bro. They've used everything. I'm just with them, bro.
Got you. John says, Jesse and Coach, I stand to make $4,800 if the 49ers get the number 1 seed. Wow, that's a great bet. Jesse, I told you on a call, make Sam Darnold clutch up. He cannot do it. I'm with you. I'm so with you. I don't believe in Sam Darnold. He's going to have to prove me wrong. I'm not a Sam guy. Matthew says, what's up, Jesse? Matthew from the round table. My primetime Rams crapping the bed right now. Just threw a pick 6. Gonna need a comeback from Stafford. Yeah, man, not good. What's up, Matthew? I appreciate you, bro. You're always at the round table, and always very, very respectful. Dazzles says, with the way Tonjes played, would be nice to see 2 tight end sets with Kittle and Tonjes. I agree. Hopefully Shanahan continues with the offense creativity, like the play to Sky Moore, maybe a Garendo gadget play. God, we haven't seen any of those running backs all year long, Garendo or James.
One thing that I will say about Tonjes and Kittle being on the field together, you have 75% of your tight end depth on the field at one time, and that's not smart. So there's a reason why Luke Farrell is there. Luke Farrell is kind of like the constant. He's the control in the experiment, where it's Luke Farrell with Jake Tonjes, it's Luke Farrell with George Kittle, but you can't have the redundancy of 2 guys that are your move tight ends, having 2 move tight ends on the field at once. If we lose Jake Tonjes, then we really don't have a natural backup. We're stuck with Braden Willis, right? So that's why I would not put them both on the field together. We don't have a lot of depth.
Okay. Steve Lewis says, if we only play games at Levi and win the Super Bowl, will other people deem it a bubble championship? Has to have no.
Hell
the Rams
no.
and Tampa Bay already won a Super Bowl in their stadium. Like, no, you earned the number 1 seed. You earn the number 1 seed.
Yeah, we're not doing
that. The Super
that.
Bowl is played where it's played. You earn the number 1 seed. They've earned the number 1 seed. So no, definitely not. Definitely not. Wi-Fi says this season has been strange for the 49ers and the NFL overall. You know what, though, Coach?
Agreed.
2 seasons ago was very similar, that there was no dominant team. This is starting to become the new norm. It really is. It's starting to become the new norm. There's just no dominant teams right now.
I had this conversation with a coach about a month ago, and he told me that he'd much rather watch college football than NFL. He said, especially now that college is getting paid and you have so much parity and you have bigger teams fighting for like the transfer portal is there. He said, it's damn near pro football. He said, it's new, but as teams start getting GMs, right? Like the biggest thing is that like and college guys are starting to stay longer, so you're getting more developed guys in college because they're getting paid. And what you're starting to see is more watered down rookie classes in the NFL. Like this year coming in, if you need a quarterback coming into this year's draft, good luck. It is not a lot. It's slim pickings. So now you're starting to see the NFL is kind of like, it's become more of like a niche league, right? Where now if you get a team that's tough and rough and, you know, can make a game out of it, that's kind of what you're seeing on average from the NFL now. Like it's not the down years are starting to become closer and closer to each other, because you're right. It was a down year when we went to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs weren't even that good that year. They were a shell of themselves, and they found a way to. That's why 2023 hurt so bad, because it was such a mid-year. And it's the same way this year. It's a mid-year. Nobody's really a world beater this year, honestly. Would you agree?
No, I agree with you. This goes back to the comment earlier. He's talking about Lenore made a comment on JSN. I just looked it up. He said he wants to shadow JSN week 18. Hey, I don't think
we do that.
I don't know.
I don't think we do that.
I feel like when your defense gives up 38 points, if your best player wants to do that, you probably should just let it happen. I don't know.
On top of the fact that it was mentioned during the broadcast, they were purposely staying away from Diamador Lenore all game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hugo says, first time Kirk Cousins doesn't have his players and he's cooking. All right. I think that's what he meant.
Kyle Shanahan.
What's K? Oh, Kyle Shanahan? Oh, KS. Okay. I thought it was Kirk Cousins because of the game zone. Okay. Yeah. I mean, listen, he's kind of has to. And he was in his bag. And to your point, he's playing with house money. This team wasn't supposed to be here. It wasn't supposed to be here. So the pressure is really non-existent. Non-existent. Cam's dad says Saleh called the linebacker blitz, but Thune said to send only 2. Okay, I like that. Well, it worked out.
Yeah.
Too much sauce is how many teams can Tonjes start for in the league? I don't know. There's a lot of good tight ends. I don't know. A few, for sure. Corey says no. The Lenore comment about wanting to shadow JSN man-to-man coverage that he's ready. Hey, again, we'll take it. Sean for the win says, does Kyle snatch any power back after this season?
No. They're going to use this. They're going to use this as the reason why he didn't need power.
Yeah. Yeah, because they got it done with that. Yeah, you're right about that. DGTY says, can we buy y'all Super Bowl tickets if they make it? Oh, that would be fantastic.
Hell yeah.
I would love nothing more. Yeah, nobody's going to turn down a Super Bowl
ticket. I would go and I would stream during the game. Fuck you mean? We would stream.
Matthew says, damn, Jesse, did you use reverse predicting voodoo on my Rams? They get boat race. They're getting boat race. Hey, man, whatever it takes. If the Rams lose and the Seahawks lose, It's a good week to be a 49er fan.
The Niners, hey, the
And
Rams
I'll
right
tell you
now.
this right now. If the Rams lose, Jake is going to get it on that roundtable show tomorrow, man.
I'm
he
watching.
is going to get
I'm
it
watching.
on that roundtable show.
Yes. Right now, if this is a video game, the Rams will have to give up the sticks. They got a 21 dub on their heads.
Yeah, you got skunked. It's over, right? That's
Yeah.
7-0 in the
Gotta
game
give
to
up the
11 to
sticks.
basketball. You got to get off the court.
Yeah, you
Gotta
got to
give it
go.
up.
We got to get another team in here.
Yeah. Keith says, I also like that it seems everybody would have controlled, would have contributed if we close the deal somehow. Like from Bosa, close game 1 to Mac Jones winning the games to Bourne, all hands on deck. Love that about this team. Yeah, you're right.
100%.
Everybody's contributed in one way or another. Guys that aren't here anymore, guys
And
that
it
were new to this
prepares
team. all the
other
way to go.
guys for the moment
does.
because they've done it during the season.
does,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It makes us
It's a very good
dangerous.
point. It's a very
Yeah.
good point. It's a very good point. Junior says, I hope this was the game that proves Tonjes deserves at least 3 or 4 targets, even with Kittle back. Tonjes should get more run. He really should.
I mean,
I
we be
think so.
complaining at times that George should get the ball. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I just don't.
It's hard to ask for Tonjes when George isn't getting it.
We be complaining that George don't get the ball enough.
Fair enough. Yep. Oh, man. If the Rams fall off before the playoffs, how amazing would that be?
That would be sick. That would be sick, man. That'd be awesome.
Just saying. All right, man. Listen, we went an hour and 35 minutes strong. Hell of a show, Coach. We're in full playoff form. I'll tell you that right
I'm
now.
ready.
I can't wait for next Monday's show to discuss what happened against the Seattle Seahawks and look forward to the playoffs. We might have a bye week, man. We might have a bye week. We might just be celebrating for an hour to 90 minutes next week. We might be coming off of a loss and talking about our next week opponent. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go, but all I know is I'm excited. I can't believe we're here. And there's not a person that I'd rather do this show with than you, Coach, man. I absolutely love these shows.
Same
so I
here, bro,
appreciate
man.
you.
I wouldn't do it with anybody else, Jess. We've had a good year, man. Cover 2 was dope this year, bro.
Yeah, it definitely was. All right, everybody in the chat, have a safe and happy New Year's. I'll be back for sure Wednesday with Behind Enemy Lines. I might do a call-in show tomorrow. Coach, I know you got your shows coming up. You got?
We got me and Damon tomorrow. Also, me and Grant are gonna go coaches meeting. We're back at it midday tomorrow, so be ready for that. It's gonna be dope.
All right. I love it. All right, y'all. Talk soon. Much love.